Hello and welcome. There's not much of an introduction. We're just going to get into Am I the A-hole? So, my mom, 56, and I, 19, have lived in this RV park for a year and a few months. My mom has worked here as manager for a couple months, but ended up not liking the job, so she quit. We soon got a new manager, and honestly, she was a total insert bad language. She has been disrespectful to multiple residents here, and people have moved out due to her. People have also been telling us that she has been talking badly about my mom. We never understood why, and we didn't care. A couple days ago, I go down to the office to grab my mail. I walked in, and her baby is sitting right in front of the door, and its foot gets caught under it. They finally get the baby out of the way, and I walk in to get the mail. As I'm about to leave, I start talking to a neighbor who is also in the office about how terrible the water smells. After we finish that conversation, I start to walk out of the door when I hear the manager say, "her mom." I storm back in and start telling her not to talk about my mother. She keeps saying she wasn't, but I knew she was. We kept going back and forth for a while, and she finally dismisses me. I walk out the door, and this starts going through my mind. Well, she's talking about someone I care about, so I'm gonna do the same. I turn around and I say, "Move your ugly ass baby next time." I continue walking out, back to my trailer, and she runs out and says, "Call your mom, 'cause I'm not reviewing y'all next month." That's the best I could do for this kind of language. Flash forward today, she called my mom to tell her that as long as I live here, my mom has to move because she's not going to put up with that. So am I the a-hole for calling her baby ugly? P.S. I now realize I should have targeted her, not her baby. For me, I personally think everyone sucks here. If multiple residents don't like her and already classify her as an a-hole, well, she's an a-hole. But you shouldn't have said anything, especially to a baby that didn't really do anything. Especially since now your mother's kind of caught in the middle of this, and it's really not a good battle to go, you just being a resident, her being the manager, kind of doesn't really go both ways, but, for me, I would say everyone sucks here. It's the next one. I'm Sophia, 15-year-old female, and I was feeling depressed over school and stuff. I tried to tell my mom about it, but she said, "You look terrible, and what are you fretting about now?" It's hard for me to talk to her, especially since sometimes she gets up and just walks away. Last time I tried to write in my diary, she took it away though, because she thinks the book is making me worse, but I like that diary. Now I'm too scared to journal my thoughts down because last time she forced me to show her my diary and she made me read it out loud. It was embarrassing. I didn't know what to do, so I went to a teen hotline and talked to a counselor there. She walked in the room while I was doing it, and she said the reason I looked terrible was because of tough love. Then she said that I hated her, but I never said that. After that mess, she said I needed to be more appreciative of her and that I had it better than her or most kids. I tried to explain to her that I'm tired of arguing and I'm also how I'm feeling. She said that I'm trying to make her out to be the bad guy over something I wasn't supposed to do. Then she told me to move on even though it all happened a minute ago. I don't know, I think I might be the asshole for going to the teen hotline. I might have overreacted, but I didn't know what else to do. I can't write in my diary because that will get me in trouble, and my mom always gets annoyed when I feel sad or try to tell her why I'm sad. So it's hard for me to talk to her. Am I the a-hole? Reading that was kind of infuriating because a diary is supposed to be something you could just jot your emotions down onto, It's supposed to be something that you could feel, that you could write in private and you have those thoughts, down on paper and they're supposed to be safe, but your mother doing that sounds very, very, uh, I guess mean? There could be a deeper word in there, but not to mention tough love. I'm pretty sure a teen counselor hotline is supposed to be there, so teens who do feel alone can just talk to someone, like if their parents are busy or if their parents aren't the right people they think. And honestly, parents have a issue with trying to be the good guy or like bad guy in every situation. In some situations, there's really no good guy or bad guy. It's just, I don't know. But your mom is definitely the a-hole. She's very, very mean, is what I'm gonna say, because that is your mother. But I am so sorry. Not to mention, I guess if you guys ever feel as if you need to talk to someone and it's gonna hurt someone else, it doesn't matter. If you need help talking to anyone, never be afraid to do it. Even if it's just like a small little hi or hey, I need to tell you about something going on, can you listen? Don't be afraid to do that. You should never have to feel as if your feelings are valid, is what I'm trying to say, but please just take care of you guys. Take care of yourselves. Another one, and this one's honestly pretty funny to me. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband's therapy partner that she needs to stop using her illness to act inappropriately? Now, reading the little title there, you'd think, oh my, what's going on? But once you get into the story, it's honestly pretty funny. My husband Thomas, 36, has a chronic medical condition he's stuck with for years and recently started attending a group therapy after being hospitalized for weeks. One of the patients/therapy partners is a 29-year-old woman called Michelle. So a number of complaints I have about Michelle. She contacts Thomas via social media, but she explains that she contacted him to tell him about some stuff the therapist told them. I asked her to expand on what she was saying, but she declined and said it was a private group and that I could speak to Thomas if I wanted to. Another thing is that she refuses to tell me about what Thomas says or how he behaves in therapy, what questions he asks, and she claims it's patient confidentiality, but she is not the therapist here. She again told me to go to Thomas if I wanted to know more about it. Overall, I've noticed she's been quite secretive and inappropriate, which made me quite uncomfortable. It's like she knows stuff about Thomas more than me. Last week, I was waiting to pick Thomas up from another therapy session and saw her there with him. I waited till me and her were alone then, and I asked about the notebook she gave to Thomas, and she said it was therapy related. I asked her to expand, but she claimed patient confidentiality. I sorta lost my temper and told her that yes, it's unfortunate she's dealing with a health condition. I'm dealing with it as much as Thomas is, but she needed to stop using her condition or her status as a patient and therapy partner to act inappropriately. She got offended and we exchanged some words, then parted ways. Jesus Christ, Thomas, I am so sorry for what you have to deal with, and lady, you have to calm down. She must have told the therapist, and the therapist told Thomas. Thomas yelled at me and said I shouldn't have acted this aggressively towards the woman, and now I've risked him getting kicked out of the group since Michelle is no longer comfortable. I said that I was just asking her some questions about him out of concern, but he he insisted that I intend to snoop and accuse Michelle of being appropriate for simply respecting his privacy, which I have failed to do. It's been an absolute nightmare of a week, and Thomas refuses to even look at me, and is constantly inside the room avoiding me the whole time. Lady, if I were Thomas, I would avoid you as well. You sound very cleany, and Jesus Christ, Michelle's right. If you want to know so badly, just ask Thomas, my boy. But you, on the other hand, you sound very cleany, and well, yeah, even if she does know about some things, what's it matter? Thomas is with you. Yeah, no, so you're OP, you're the a-hole, and I hope you learn to respect your partner's privacy. Now, this might be the last one, but it's a good one, in my personal opinion. Am I the a-hole for throwing away a picture frame of my dad and his girlfriend? Me, 18, and my dad, 45, has a girlfriend who's 28, with who he cheated on my mom with. They divorced in May 2021, and my sister and I, 23, decided we were going to live with him and not my mom. In July of that same year, he went exclusive with his girlfriend. Ever since then, my dad and my sister have been having issues with this. He just expected us to be okay with him dating someone half his age. The woman with who he cheated on my mom with, and the one who's taking him away from us. My dad has always been an amazing dad, always present, and we spend a lot of time together. But ever since he's been dating this girl, mine and my sister's world came crashing down. He just expects us to be fine just because he's happy and he loves her. My dad since then has been incredibly selfish, making us spend our first Christmas just us with her and her kid. And he made me spend New Year's with them again, not even letting me process not having a mom on those holidays. He made us go on a trip, all 5 of us, in which his girlfriend only complained about us, and no, she didn't even pay anything for the entire trip, which we were nothing but nice and accepting. So since then, we had a little no contact with him and his girlfriend, or with his girlfriend and his kid. My bad. Last week, we came from a trip. We left for a week, and this girl received flowers with him. What the? Chocolates, and the honest to most god-awful picture frame I've ever seen. My dad spent a week hanging it on his wall in his office, which me and my sister minded, but we kept our mouths shut. And yesterday, we were supposed to have a family brunch, and he brought them both, which pissed me off because we already had everything planned, and they came to change everything. So I told him I didn't understand why he needed to bring them if it was only going to make us uncomfortable around our own family. He just asked me to be tolerant, and when we got to the restaurant, I exploded and ran off crying and left the lunch. When we came home, he had left to stay with them, and I decided I had had enough, that he wasn't going to have a picture of that whore whom he cheated on my mom with in the house he used to share and built with her. So I threw it away, and he came this morning and told me if he wanted it hanging there when he came back. I left it outside on the park next to my house, and it got stolen. Lol. Which I couldn't care less about, but I just wanted to know, am I the a-hole? And I just wanted to say, Jesus Christ, OP, you are a mega brat, dude. You know, adults have issues. Your father wasn't happy with his wife. He wasn't gonna put your mom through that, or oh my gosh. Your father wasn't happy with his wife, and he's not gonna suffer through that, and he's not gonna make her suffer through that. Not to mention, you threw away a picture frame of something that he treasured. You are incredibly selfish. Just because you're tolerating this new lady doesn't mean you've been all good or anything. If anything, you've just been acting like a brat towards her, and you've been holding something against her. If relationships don't work out, it happens for adults too. You need to get your issues resolved with your parent and find out something. And I don't get, if you have an issue with your mother, why are you living with your father if you're not liking the conditions? He's taking on the burden of dealing with you and your sister, and you guys just act like this towards him. It's not right, but what do I know? I just know that you're the a-hole, and I feel bad for the father. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll see you later.